Welcome to episode 2 of the Trading from 0 to 1 million series, where we got a fresh new account here and we're going to show you guys how to trade from 0 coins all the way up to 1 million on FIFA 22. But before we jump into this episode, I need to show you the easiest way for you to get some coins. If you guys are looking for the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market, make sure to head over to utnice.com and use code CHIEF for 6% off at checkout. Now let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Alright boys, so jumping into this episode, just to recap, we ended episode 1 on 56,000 coins, showing you guys how to trade from 0 coins to 50k and get your account started. Now you can see my coins are down a little bit to about 32,000 coins. I picked some cards up before the video as examples for the first couple trading methods we're going to be diving into to show you guys. So the first we're going to be looking at is an absolute classic for me and one I love doing whenever we get new promos, and it is the fodder filter. Now, if you guys are in the streams you're around this channel, you would have seen this a lot. Essentially, what the fodder filter is it's a method where you're essentially just bidding on fodder here over and over. And the reason we do it when we get new promos is because when we get a new promo, for example, like footies, we get a lot of pack supply on the weekends, which means there's a lot of cards getting listed up. It becomes really easy to win these on bid. So what the fodder filter has been in the past is you set your quality here to gold rare, minimum bid price 700, maximum bid price 5,400, minimum buy now 10,250. And essentially what this filter does is it gets you cards that go for more than 10,250, so mostly high rated cards, but they also have low bids. Now the fodder filter has changed recently because fodder has gone so expensive. So what I've been doing for this method is I just set my maximum bid price to 9,900 and my minimum buy now to 10,250. So this again just allows me to get some cards that are higher rated but with low bids, as you can see here. And essentially what we do is we just go through and we try to get cards for deals on bid. So how do you know what's a deal and how much you should bid on cards? So what I like to do is I like to keep the Footbin cheapest by rating tab open next to me. So if you don't know, this is the Footbin cheapest by rating tab, and essentially what it shows you is just in each rating a collection of the cheapest cards. So whenever I see like an 85 that I'm bidding on, I can assume that it generally goes for around 9,000 coins, because that's typically what these 85s go for. The 84s, I can assume they go for like 4.5k, and it just gives you a general idea of what you should be bidding on these kind of cards here. And wow, we got that Quadrado. That is a great deal on him. And that's really all you're going to do here. So when it comes to bidding on cards and what you should be trying to win those for, should have won that Hakimi. That would have been 5k profit. So when it comes to what you should actually be bidding on cards, so what you want to do for starters is obviously find the price something sells for. So for example, this Gundogan. If I want to know exactly what this Gundogan goes for, I jump over to Footbin and search him up here. And this Gundogan sells for about 11,000 coins. Now the general rule of thumb I use when picking cards up is I want to pick them up for 10% under the price I'm selling them for. So if I'm going to sell Gundogan for 11k, I want to pick him up for 1,100 coins under that. So I want to pick him up for 9,900. Now that 10% stems from basically when you sell a card because of EA tax, you lose 5% on tax. So then when you have that 10% difference, you're still going to make a 5% profit on those cards. So that's where that 10% comes from. You can play around with that depending on how much profit you want to make per card, but that's generally what I use. And essentially that's going to be it when it comes to this method, is you're just going to sit here and try and bid on cards and get good deals. Now I have a couple cards to show you guys that I picked up before the video. I have a De Vrij and Hakimi here. This De Vrij, as you can see, I picked up for 3,600, and if we go take a look at his price here, he is currently selling for, I looked up Hakimi. Keep in mind, Hakimi sells 9,700. I just looked at his price. So De Vrij sells for 9,000 coins here, and I managed to pick him up for 3,600 there. So that's a 5,400 difference. We're going to lose 450 on tax. So I'm making 5k on that De Vrij card alone. And then Hakimi's another card we picked up here. He sells for 9,700. Again, we're going to lose about 450 to 500 coins on tax here. So we're still going to make about 1,200 coins on this Hakimi card after tax. The kind of important thing with trading with these more high rated expensive cards like fodder is to just take into account tax, because it is a big hit on your profits when you're trading with more expensive cards here. So that is kind of it for the fodder filter. It's really, really simple at the end of the day. It's just something you got to kind of stay on top of. And look, people are getting crazy deals on this. Koke, someone won that for 4.5K. I kind of want to go look at his price. I'm pretty sure he's 10K or more right now. He currently sells for 11,000 coins. So people get some really, really crazy deals on this filter. So if you're just sticking with it and constantly bidding on cards, I promise you're going to get some great deals while doing this. So into our kind of second method here that I want to mention is there's a lot of different methods you can use when you're going from that like 50K kind of range to getting to trade with special cards. So another one I like to use is just kind of trading with things that are currently inflated on the market. So what I mean by that is, for example, looking at 82 rated cards. A lot of 82s and 83s are inflated right now, meaning more expensive than they usually are, just because of the current content we have. So, for example, Berchiche is usually like 1,600 coins. Right now, he's 2,600. Another guy is like Christian Pulisic. Usually, he's like 1,000 coins. Right now, he's 1,900. Now, the reason we like to trade with these cards is because a lot of times people don't know what the prices are, so it becomes really easy to pick these up on bid. So, for example, something I did before the video was I realized that Christian Pulisic sells for 1,900 coins there. However, I noticed that so many of these cards were going on bid for super, super cheap. You can see there's a lot of these with just like 700 coin bids on them, and that's it. So another method you can do is just kind of rotate through these cards that are kind of inflated at the moment and look for cards that people aren't really bidding on a ton and where you can pick up some nice deals. So I got some examples of that as well here on my transfer list just to show you guys. So most of it is going to be Pulisic here. I picked up a lot of Pulisics for very cheap. Again, he goes for about 1,900. So taking a look at him, I got one for 1,200 there, 1,200 there, 1,200, 1,400, 1,200, and then 750, 850, 700. So I got some really good deals on a chunk of these just because it becomes really easy to bid on these cards because, again, they're up in price, but there's still a lot of supply because they're relatively low rated at 82 rated here. And another example of a card like this is going to be this Fabian I picked up. He sells for, I believe, 1,200 coins. I managed to pick him up 700. So he's another example of that. So just kind of finding those cards that you can trade with at the moment. But it really is dependent upon like what content's out and what cards are up in price. So that's two methods you can go about when you're kind of trading in that 50K plus range. I'm going to do a little bit more of these, get my coins up, see where we're at, and then possibly come back to you guys with a third method for you to use. But I'll check back in with you guys in a second. All right, boys, we are back, and as you can see, everything here has sold for the prices we listed it for, except Hakimi, still waiting on him. And you can see I've gone and spent all the coins as well, because we're only sitting on 5K right now, and I wanted to run you through what I managed to pick up here. So I exclusively did the fodder filter while I was away, because I'm going to jump into the 82, 83 bidding in a second here. But just to give you an idea of some of the profits we're looking at, so both of these Sommers picked up 5.1 and 6.7K. They sell for 8.5K. Schmeichel picked up for 5,400, sells for 8,700. Hakimi for 6,400, sells for 9,500. Milinkovic Savic sells for 9,500. Gundogan, our biggest pickup here, sells for 10.5K, got him for 3.8K. Bonucci sells for 8.5, got him for 4.9. Walker, our second biggest pickup here, sells for 16K, managed to pick him up for 9.5. And Lautaro Martinez here, I don't have him pulled up. I think he sells about 9.4K, and we got him for 7.1 there. So I got some really nice pickups here. I'm going to go ahead and get these listed up, see what our coin total is sitting at. If we do like a rough estimate here, I mean, we got, let's just call it like 8.5, 17, 25, 35, 50, 59, 68, 75. So it looks like we're going to get close to 80K out of these cards. That could be a little bit of an overestimate, but we could be getting nearing that 100K mark once that Hakimi sells. So I'm going to list these up, do a little bit of 82 trading, that stuff I showed you before with those cards that are currently inflated, and get back to you with what exactly I've done here. We are back, and all of the fodder cards that we picked up previously have sold here for those prices that I listed off for you guys. I did a little bit more trading with Pulisic on those 82s, like I mentioned, but honestly, I just got really locked in on fodder filter because it was doing so well for us. So I actually went back to doing that here. So I'm going to clear that stuff. I relisted that first Hakimi we listed because I guess I listed him a little bit too expensive. So he still has to sell. But in terms of cards I've gone and picked up here, so I've got a couple of Bamiyangs for 7.1k. He goes about 8.5. I got a Quadrado who goes for about 5.5k. Hakimi sells about 9.4k. Got a couple of those there. Koke is probably our best pickup here. He sells for about 11k. We got him for 7.3. And then I have another Pulisic sitting here. So again, enjoy trading with those 82s, but fodder filter's just been so good for me tonight. I mean, I was able to pick up pretty much every card in this video in probably 45 minutes here, and it's gonna probably bring us to 110 115k. So I'm gonna get all this stuff listed up here and then come back to you guys with our coin balance. I am back, and as you can see by our coin balance, everything has sold here. We're currently sitting on 114,000 coins. And just to show you what we sold everything for here, again, it's mostly a lot of fodder filter stuff because that was doing really well for me. So easy coins there. We're up to 114,000 coins. So now moving into the next episode, we're going to be able to get into some special card trading, which at this point in the game is really, really good. And I'm excited to show you guys how to start trading on a little bit of a higher budget. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.